Is your mic working? No. Okay. Okay. Everybody, you guys are good? Okay, Whitney's gonna get this show rolling, okay?
You guys tell me. We are gonna have other speakers too. Now are we good as the wind blows? All right. Good morning, everyone. We're super excited to have you here today at Dorothea Dix Park as we're just days away from the 2024 Dreamville Festival. We've gathered you all here today to provide a preview of what fans this coming weekend at the festival. Behind me and community partners. I'll start off with introducing myself. My name is Whitney Schoenfeld. I work for the City of Raleigh's Office of Public Affairs, and I'm going to introduce each of our speakers, folks who may be here to answer questions as well. So we have Trey Hicks, who's the PR director at Dreamville Festival. We have Cedric Bond, who's our public safety consultant at Dreamville Festival. We have Lauren Gold, our executive vice president at Visit Raleigh. We have Adam Roy, who is the festival president of Dreamville Festival, and MK, who's our head of operations at Dreamville Festival. We have Kate Pierce, the executive director at Dix Park. We have Captain Jonathan Wood from our Raleigh Police Department Special Division, and we have Cameron Laws, our creative director at Artsplosure. So we're going to have a Q&A session at the end of the presentation, so please hold all of your questions to the end. And with that, I'm going to kick it over to Trey to dive in.
Thank you guys again for being here today. I'm going to try not to read from my notes, but we'll see what we can do. For those of you unfamiliar, Dreamville Festival is an outdoor music celebration of all things curated by Dreamville and J. Cole. We like to think that this is the Dreamville brand signature event that they hold each year with fans traveling worldwide to attend. Something unique about Dreamville is that all are welcome. There is a big emphasis on community, inclusivity, diversity, and positivity. And because of that, we like to think Dreamville is a bit of a family-style cookout where everyone feels welcome and has a seat at the table. Our festival regularly curates a lineup filled with some of the biggest music stars in the world, many of whom are performing here for the very first time. You know, something we're very excited about is the international presence that we have here. Not only with someone like Rima this year, in the past it's been Burna Boy, Wizkid as well. This is an opportunity not only for residents to see artists that they've never seen before, but also open up Raleigh to some of the world's biggest performers. Beyond the music though, the festival plays host to dozens of small businesses and community organizations nonprofits to food vendors to restaurants and a lot in between. For example, this year the organizers have invested significant resources for the food program. So for example, we have over 50 food vendors from all over North Carolina that honestly will provide a palette fit for any festival goer. So at Dreamville Festival, fans can sample truly the best bites that North Carolina has to offer. After launching though in 2018, this festival has grown into more than just a music festival. It's gone into a week-long celebration of music, culture, and community that spreads all across Raleigh. Because of this, Dreamville has cemented itself as the world's largest artist-led music festival. Through these collaborative efforts, Dreamville is able to create a massive impact on the local economy, not only culturally, but economically. Speaking of which, today we announced the 2023 Economic Impact Report for the festival. You know, and as you can tell, fans are traveling in from around the world to participate in this year's event. Over the past 5 years, the event has grown into one of the most anticipated events in Raleigh, in North Carolina, and frankly across the entire country. It offers an economic opportunity for small businesses and industry workers, from food vendors to security personnel, students, ambassadors, production staff, and so much more. With respect to the new economic report, Dreamville Festival contributed $145.9 million to the local Wake County community. The industries most impacted include hotel, food and beverage, and transportation. Equivalency is to 1,300 full-time jobs. And just for clarity purposes, this economic impact report was created by Angelou Economics with additional contributions from our partners at City of Raleigh, Visit Raleigh, Live Nation Entertainment, and other stakeholders. So now, what I'd like to do is pass this over to Lauren at Visit Raleigh to speak a little bit more specifically about the impact the festival has on the local hotel industry as well as the overall attendance we expect to see.
Good morning. First off, I want to thank Trey and Adam and the Dreamville team that's here. We love the intentionality of this event for the city of Raleigh and for North Carolina. We are super excited. Again, global event, a lot of eyes on Raleigh this weekend around this music event. Looking at upwards of 100,000 plus 2 days ago, again, kind of on a record-breaking pace. Breaking those numbers down, we've spent some time talking to members of the media in the past about this. All 50 U.S. states are represented in the ticket allotment. 20 plus international features are accounted for right now. I'll give you a couple of examples there. Australia, Barbados, Canada, Denmark, France, Germany, India, Kuwait, Romania, South Africa, and many others. When we start to look at ticket data, and we're brought in as the official destination marketing organization for Wake County and the city of Raleigh, we start to break down ticket data. We look at about 80% of those tickets coming from either overnight travelers or what we refer to as day trippers. These are folks that are typically outside of about a 9-mile radius that have to drive in and drive back out, but there's still a spend behind that. And those are based on our calculations. I think the one important thing to note off of last year's event, we do not see this backing off at all. We ran 94% occupancy county-wide. So that's every hotel in Wake County. That's 16,000 plus hotel rooms. 94% of them were filled last year on the peak night of occupancy, and that was Saturday night. We saw an uptick year over year at 3% on Saturday. And the other thing that we love is an extended stay. We saw an 11% uptick on Sunday with rooms as well. So with multiple night stays, our hotels are highly anticipating the activity that many of the fans that come for Dreamville will bring, along with a lot of the economics behind it. Want to talk a little bit about the impact to the local community. Super excited again when you start to break down hotel spends, restaurant spends, retail spends. That covers most of Wake County, the 12 municipalities, and even we see some bleed effect into Johnston County and Durham County. So it truly is a regional demand driver that again brings in folks from all over the world. I'll conclude with this. I've been here 18 years. We've worked with hundreds of events, festivals, music events, meetings and conventions, large-scale sporting events. I don't think
now we just talked about 2023, so now let's focus and go forward to 2024. And so I'd like to talk a little bit about the improvements that the fans will be experiencing this year. These are a lot of things that we're really excited about. You know, and the reality is, like, our goal is to build upon improvements year after year. Like, we look at last year as a success because of the close coordination we had with our stakeholders, with the city, with all of these folks. And so our goal is to not only replicate that success, but improve it. So with that, you know, we've been able to increase the infrastructure and also the sights, the sounds, the food, etc., to provide an overall better festival going experience, not only for our patrons, but for our staff, for the performers, and everyone in between. There truly has been no expense that's been spared. We remain true to our commitment to the city of Raleigh, to the Raleigh residents, and to our festival attendees to make this the best festival experience possible. You know, but speaking specifically to the major improvements that fans will see this year, one of which I know will be a big hit will be the return of the flushable toilets. So we have no more porta potties throughout the grounds, and even if you actually are a VIP attendee, you will have flushable toilets in an air-conditioned trailer. So there are some nice accommodations there. We also are going to return the GA Plus area, which is part of the Hammock Grove, and that's also something that we've worked closely with Dick's Park, where that grove is now accessible to you know, residents year-round. So again, it's another manifestation of our impact long after the festival wraps. We have bigger and better production at both stages. Not only that, stage 2 is being reoriented a bit. So with that, you're not only going to have better sound and better lighting, you also are going to have a better viewing experience, whether you're right up front or you're in the back with a little bit more dancing room. We also have expanded our art program pretty significantly with more murals, art installations, and other decor elements you'll see sprinkled around the grounds. I'll kick it over to Cameron here in a little bit to talk more about that. Then lastly, something big is transportation, right? And so what we have done is we've expanded our downtown shuttle program to increase capacity by over 25%. But I think what would be best would be to kick it over to Kendrick here to speak a little bit more about our transportation plan and how we work with a lot of these city stakeholders.
Good morning. So first of all, just to elaborate a little bit more, like Trey mentioned, there's a significant increase in the number of shuttles that we've secured to help us with transportation to the festival from downtown, specifically from Moore Square. Additionally, we work with the city of Raleigh, we work with the police department to design a plan that will afford or allow safe and efficient both ingress and egress of our event patrons. We work directly with Uber, Lyft, and local taxi companies to improve vehicle access, to improve ride-sharing capacity. But at the end of the night is always the business. So in terms of demand and everybody leaving the festival at the same time, it is going to be a high demand. It is going to be congested. But we are optimistic that because of the pre-planning and the advanced coordination that we have done with our transportation network companies already, that we will have a greater number of vehicles for our attendees to use this year. I just want to say we've also worked with our local neighbors and surrounding communities to minimize the impact. We've communicated with residents to identify you know, potential problems, work through some resolutions in order to address them. In early May, we actually conducted a public forum in which we had an opportunity to discuss those issues, further work through some solutions on how to address them, but it also gave us the opportunity to discuss street closures with them, sound checks, event schedules, and other potential impacts that should be expected. Ultimately, our end goal is to be good neighbors. We plan to work with our surrounding community to make sure that this is a safe event and to make sure that this has a positive impact on the community. If any residents experience any issues related to Dreamville, you can contact us by email at info@dreamvillefest.com, or you can call the community hotline at 919-295-6275. And that hotline will be monitored both days, Saturday and Sunday, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. So I just want to say we're very comfortable with the plans that we have in in progress. We're very comfortable. We're excited. We took lessons learned from last year to further enhance the preparations for this year, and we're excited about the lessons learned and the key takeaways from this year. So, with that being said, I'll introduce Cameron to come forward to talk about the art program.
Hello everyone, I'm Cameron Laws. I'm the creative director of Artsplosion, one of Raleigh's oldest arts nonprofits. And we are thrilled to be partnering with Dreamville for the 4th festival in a row to really infuse our local creative talent into the festival experience. So this year that looks like 7 muralists from across North Carolina that will be showcasing their work across the festival footprint. But in addition to visual art, we are also programming some performing arts and what now really feels like a Dreamville tradition, which is bringing the 150 plus member Sound Machine Marching Band from one of North Carolina's most celebrated HBCUs, NC Central University. We really hope everyone enjoys this local flavor at the festival as much as we enjoyed putting it together, and we'll see y'all at Dreamville.
We're almost done, guys. But yeah, just a few final words. You know, I think speaking to the art, component, I mean, as you guys can see right after this was an installation from 2 years ago that, again, thank you to our partners at Artsplosion, also at Dix Park to help maintain this. You know, yesterday when we were scouting, there were kids running over this and taking photos. It's an amazing experience, and really it's a physical manifestation of the impact of the festival that lasts so much longer once the festival, wraps in each spring. So, last few things I want to remind folks is tickets are on sale now at dreamvillefest.com. We have a lot of exciting news and announcements still coming out, so if you guys just want to follow us on social media, it's at Dreamville Fest on every channel. We are so excited about this year's event, and we thank you again for coming out. To kind of wrap this up before we talk Q&A, I'm going to pass it over to MK and Adam from the Dreamville team to speak a little bit more about, why Raleigh and the impact it's made.
Good morning, everyone. I'm MK from Dreamville. Just wanted to thank you all for being here on this amazing morning. Wanted to extend our thanks to the amazing city of Raleigh, which over the years has become our second home. We're grateful to be back and showcasing our community initiatives, not just this weekend as we bring our fans into the city, but all this week. We're grateful to integrate all our communities, be it our community of artists, our communities or fans who are considered our extended family, our friends and family that travel into the city every year to support us, but our community right here in Raleigh, and that's you all, people of the press, the city officials, as well as all the local business owners who support us not just this weekend, but year round. Raleigh is very unique. This is where J. Cole decided to lay his roots an hour away from Raleigh where he grew up, so we're very grateful to be here.
How's it going, everybody? Adam Roy, Dreamville president. We're excited to be back. This is year 4, and I think we've got quite the week ahead of us between Dreamville Music Festival and NC State, both men's and women's teams being in the Final Four. I think we're teed up for a pretty epic weekend in Raleigh, and we couldn't be more excited to be here. Thank you.
I'd like to highlight, our week of events. We have Cam returning this year. Thank you so much to the state for helping facilitate our engineers bus tour that has been touring throughout the state and will ultimately be ending right here in Raleigh. We have Goldmouth Garage, which will be taking place right around the corner from Raleigh, as well as community initiatives such as our 4th annual boxed lunches, where we pack hundreds of lunches as well as hundreds of grocery boxes for underprivileged and homeless people right here in Raleigh. So thank you very much.
Thank you guys for being patient. We'll start opening this up to Q&As now. I don't know if it's easier if folks just want to raise their hand, and we'll kind of go right down the line. But yeah, please.
Okay, I'm Destiny with WRAL. I wanted to ask, how long did we know about the switch in the lineup? Because I know people were getting merch with the descent on it now, and he's also posting that he's going to be in Atlantic City. Can we get an update from that? I know a lot of people thought it was a joke.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, with most music events, the lineup is subject to change. We found out about this very recently, and we had to quickly pivot. I mean, you know, that's one of our headliners. But we are really excited about the talent that 50 Cent is going to bring, as well as Huncho, one of the hottest new upcoming hip-hop artists around. So with that, we're very excited. If folks have any questions, especially regarding merch or anything regarding ticketing, please email us at info@dreamvillefest.com. It is being monitored 24/7 at this point throughout the end of the festival. So again, we're happy to work through any questions that might pop up regarding lineup changes.
I had a question. Similar to years past, you guys put out a call for some help from local people to help on site. How has that changed from year to year? What is that looking like this year? Did you get all the people you needed? I mean, is that something you will continue to do? Has that helped, you know?
Yeah, so each year we do have an open call for a lot of different opportunities. So one of which is our food vendor program, one of which is our ambassador program and volunteer, as well as our amazing art program as well. And so the reality was the feedback was so strong that at a certain point we had to close them because we did fulfill all of our needs, which was amazing. And ultimately too, like, you know, I was a young student too, and I was just dying to work at festival and whatnot. So these are really amazing opportunities to, you know, learn firsthand from some of the best in the business. And so we're really excited about, you know, the open call for the muralists that we were able to secure, the hundreds of volunteers and ambassadors, and I think the 50 to 60 food vendors as well. So, and again, that's a big emphasis by the team to say, hey, let's go out and let's make this an open opportunity for everyone to participate. So.
I had another question for Adam, because you had mentioned NC State also this weekend, and a couple years ago was the UNC Duke game. Are you guys just planning this festival around March Madness every year so we can...
No, we just try to hope that our success is going to align with, you know, the rest of the city's success and the rest of the state's success. I think we've been really fortunate to have now 2 years where that type of positivity, that type of really North Carolina greatness is kind of culminated in this weekend, and so it's a blessing, honestly.
This may be more of a city question, but have you guys considered putting any like sort of restrictions or more regulations around like Airbnbs and hotels? Because I know that we've had quite a few people who've had like last minute cancellations because they felt like they priced too low.
Yeah, that's an interesting question because certainly based on what we track through the hotel community, I think we see rates higher. We do track and aggregate what we would refer to as extended stay or, rentals, you know, through VRBO or Airbnb. We see that data typically on the back end, and that kind of speaks to that overall volume of demand. I think the thing that again, what the hotel community is very cognizant of now in year 4 is the high number of visitor volume, the high number of demand on hotel rooms, and you know, they use that as an opportunity in the supply-demand spectrum to work in the industry what they call yield management. So they're looking at typically higher rates. Again, the $192 average rate that I called to your all's attention in my comments, that is collectively around the entire county, and that is everything from a limited service hotel all the way up to a full service luxury hotel. So it's all of the aggregate data, and the average comes out at 192. For comparison's sake, that typically runs about 135 to 140 in any given week. So you see a big spike because of the demand and the visitor volume. Hopefully that addresses your question.
I have another question for Raleigh Police, actually, since we haven't touched on that yet.
Yes.
Just talking about, we talked about transportation, but the overall like traffic situation and people getting through, also safety within the festival for both days. Could you speak on that?
Sure. As obviously with any large-scale event, you're going to have traffic issues. We spent a lot of time and effort over several months coming up with the traffic plan that we have, and we feel that it's the best that can be provided considering you have 50,000 people coming per day. So as was mentioned earlier, we have a lot of shuttle service. We've expanded that. so that should ease some of the congestion. We've also added additional officer positions to traffic posts.
There was also the posting of the new free Narcan kit. The name is missing me right now. That's going to be available. I'm not sure if that was available last year or not, but can you speak to just like the overall like health EMS side of being available and having these resources on hand for such a large event?
Sure, we have an extensive amount of resources when dealing with medical emergencies. We have several medical tents that will be on site. We have several emergency personnel that if it comes to a certain situations that they'll be transported to a local hospital. They've also increased the number of EMS personnel this year, so there shouldn't be any issues whatsoever.
Choreography with CBS 17. How many officers is the event required to have? How many police officers is the event required to have? And I don't know if you can answer this, but how many parking staff?
There is no minimum staffing or maximum staffing. I can tell you that we've expanded quite a bit from last year, so we have more than enough officers to cover the event.
If you had to throw out a number.
We have a sufficient amount. We can't. It's it's part of our safety program. So.
DJ Remedy, Radio 1 Raleigh, K975. First of all, I just want to thank you guys for the opportunity to DJ at the Gold Mouth Garage. Last year I DJed at the pop-up shop, so I definitely appreciate the opportunity. The question that I have is for the fans and the listeners. When after the festival is over for each day, has there been any improvements to the coverage area when they have to order a call ride for either Uber or Lyft? Or is there any workarounds that you can talk about in that type of situation?
I'll talk general. So I can speak to the general improvements. I think the cell phone's another conversation. But yeah, honestly, from a leadership standpoint, as soon as the festival wraps each night, and honestly throughout the day, we have internal leadership meetings to address things and say, hey, we're getting a lot of calls about this. What can we do to fix it? So it's an ongoing process. Again, I know I talked about improvements year to year and working with these stakeholders, but it is very much a real-time addressing needs. And we also have an amazing social media team. We're monitoring what people post, we're monitoring people tweet, which again is a great service for us because everybody has a phone these days, right? And so it's a great way to tap in directly with our audience. So we look at this as a continual refinement process and improvement, not only year to year, but day to day, hour to hour.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This question is for both Adam and Lauren. I mean, when you just think about all 50 states, DC, Puerto Rico, and then nearly 24 countries, what does that say to you about the number of dollars they're bringing, one to the festival and then two here to Wake County?
Yeah, again, I mean, the impact is significant. Dreamville's released a new third-party impact study that goes much more in depth on that. But again, we are becoming a global destination. I think you look at this event alone, and you called out the 20+ countries that will be represented in ticket holds. But you start to look at what's going on at RDU Airport with international lift. We've added 2 new flights. There's a new nonstop to Germany starting in June. Copa Airlines starts nonstop to Panama City, Panama in July. 10 international carriers throughout the week are bringing people into this region. So this type of event amplifies not only the brand from a regional and state perspective to the U.S. perspective and then a global perspective. And we love that. We do know that this destination is global, whether you're here for an academic type of engagement, whether you're here for vacationing. We work closely with Visit NC and look at those major lift markets. UK and Germany are still strong, but we're starting to see growth in other sectors. And I think an event like this helps that.
Does that put pressure on the folks here on the ground to improve some of our infrastructure so we can continue to support these type of events?
I don't know if it's so much pressure as it is being proactively and strategically aligned with the city and the county. We as an organization spend a lot of time with the city management team, the county management team, chambers of commerce all around the county looking at destination development. It's a great point. We've looked at things like currency exchange, like translation services and things like that. So as you become more of an international destination, those are things you need to be prepared to do. So I think it's more aligned to an overall proactive
strategic development of the destination, and again, a lot of that's called out in the destination strategic plan that we launched back in 2018, that we're still working through, a year 5 and a year 10 plan. But that's stuff that we've got to be on top of and continue to push forward.
Yeah, I think simply we're very proud to be a catalyst for, visitors coming into Raleigh. And I think the type of numbers and visitors you're seeing this year is the culmination of what has been an active year for Dreamville as a brand, an active year for Cole as an artist as well. I think people are excited to see what's coming to the festival.
And how best do you guys manage costs on site, ticket sales, with what people will pay for hotels, transportation, whatnot?
Yeah, I mean, we work with all the partners you see here and with the city to try to make sure that there is a welcome mat here in Raleigh for them, and that has to do with kind of making sure that we have partners like Crew Fair, in which we allow our fans to book their hotels early at favorable rates, and partnering with airlines and also other transportation. In the past, we've also worked with even the train to get people here. So there's a multitude of ways in which we try to shore up some of the questions you're asking. Okay.
Are there any plans to show the NC State game at the festival?
Coming soon.
So pretty early on last year, we were completely sold out of tickets, and I know you guys were super excited about that. Has that been the case this year? I know that you guys announced that you guys were going to have more GA tickets. And as you guys continue to grow, what are some of the things that you guys have considered in that growth? Is it more days?
I mean, our record has shown, we started this thing off, it was one day. And, and working with the park, and we saw that we could expand to 2 days and set that. We don't try to skip steps at Dreams. And so if that opportunity presents itself to look at other ways to expand, whether it be more tickets or more days or anything like that, we'll look at it. But also, every year we do expand. It may not always be relegated to just this park, and there are plenty of improvements to this park. Just this year, we've also kind of added a whole host of pre-festival events that are taking place throughout the city. And then we also added pre-festival events that are taking place throughout the state. We have a workshop, audio workshop studio bus that has been on road for the past week in places like Charlotte, Winston-Salem, Durham, Wilmington, Fayetteville, and then coming right back here to Raleigh. What was the question about the...
I just asked if you guys were completely sold out again this year.
We
got a few more tickets on sale right now at dreamvillefest.com. What happened is, organizers, and we work with the partners to release a small allotment. We were right at sold out, and because of the feedback that we're seeing on social media and from our email, and everyone is so hungry to come here, especially once we dropped the lineup, that the team was able to release some another small allotment. Now, we do have to work within the parameters of what the park regulates and what the city allows us to, but I mean, we sure want to try to get as many fans in here as we can, especially knowing the impact that Dreamville has internationally. J. Cole's one of the biggest artists in the world. Who wouldn't want to come see this? So we want to put on the best experience possible and get as many fans in here as we can.
Yeah, we've been very happy with the ticket sales and really just the interest coming off of last year.
Are there any plans in the future to announce the lineup when tickets go on sale, such as Lovers and Friends, Broccoli, Fest?
I'll just say we're very happy with how we've done things. I think it's a testament to kind of like this goes way back to like how Dreamville's always done things. Our fans have a lot of faith in us to deliver a lineup that is exciting for them, and we also love to see that trust from our fans, and to see some of the numbers that came in as soon as the tickets went on sale with no lineup. We're very proud of that.
So that's no.
We're gonna stick to what we do best.
So I think you've done with them with learning. So we hear about the global impact and the impact on the city of Raleigh. Can we speak to the impact of the festival?
Absolutely. I know, you know, Cole's hometown in Fayetteville is very proud of him. It's awesome to see, and we hope to even have more people from within the state come to visit Raleigh. You know, just yesterday, that audio bus that we had have on tour visited Fayetteville. It was an incredible event. I think there were 60 plus attendees there that got to work with one of Cole's mentors, one of his first mentors, Nervous Wreck, and as well as Grammy-nominated studio engineer Mixed by Ali and his brand engineers, in which all of those attendees, some college kids, some older, some younger, all interested in figuring out how to break into the music industry and how to, in any capacity, whether that be a producer, engineer, artist, management. They got some valuable lessons in that class that we were able to host yesterday. And I think that whenever we're in the state of North Carolina, Fayetteville is not forgot on us, and we try to make sure that we do have events and activities that we can bring there, and we hope to do more, honestly.
How's that able to come?
Oh, you made. I see your shirt. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. You made it over there.
Hi, Paige Boyd, online editor for Radio 1 Raleigh, K97.5. Now, what a lot of fans have been very excited about with the Dreamville Festival is the aspect of unpredictability and the surprises. I know last year we had plenty of surprises with 21 Savage and Lil Wayne. So what do you expect as far as, you know, will there be any surprises this year? I know you can't speak on exactly what the surprises are, but just kind of like speak on the unpredictability of this year's festival.
Yeah, I think it's an extension of your question as well. You know, that's long been part of our formula, and we hope to always have a little bit more to give to the fans than what is expected. So I hope that answers it. Yeah.
Well, just to kind of piggyback on that, can we expect J. Cole to respond to Kendrick Lamar?
Oh my goodness.
Next question. I think we'll focus on the festival for now. Any final questions before we call it a wrap, guys? Okay. Well, to end it, thank you all so much for coming here. You know, on a personal level, we understand that there's breaking news, there's things happening all over this county, and so we really appreciate it. Y'all coming out, spending time. If you have any general questions for your audience and your readers or your viewers at home, info@dreamvillefest.com, www.dreamvillefest.com, and @DreamvilleFest on social media. And for any of you all with press inquiries, press@dreamvillefest.com. That's just for us. Thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful afternoon.